Hello everyone, salut à tout le monde. Welcome to another video on Cameroon as we unpack what is going on in Cameroon. I want to appreciate each and every one of you for tuning in for this video. I appreciate you for every single thing you do. To our returning listeners, viewers, and subscribers, I want to appreciate each and every one of you for everything you do. Liking our videos, subscribing to our channel, sharing our episode with your loved one, family, and friends, and always watching. I appreciate you. We cannot do it without your support. So thank you very much. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want to give you this opportunity. Please do us a favor. Like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can be the first person to be notified when we drop any future episode. Thank you very much. Let's get right into it. So today we're going to be starting with Issa Tchiroma Bakary. Yesterday he updated his Facebook profile and he put President of the Republic of Cameroon. And that was the first post. After a while, he put the same post, President of the Republic of Cameroon. And then few moments later, like few hours later, he changed it from President of the Republic of Cameroon to President-elect or elected President of the Republic of Cameroon, which sent a lot of signals. A lot of people on social media started, breaking that information down. There was a lot of mixed reaction. People were, happy that he did that. Some other people were like, no, why will he be confused from President of Cameroon to elected President of Cameroon? Why is he confused? Why is he sending mixed signals around? And people were doubting. They're like, oh, all this hope that we're giving this guy like this, is he going to fail us? Is he going to live up to expectations? What are we to expect from Issa Tchiroma Bakary? So yeah, I've been watching and listening and seeing what people are saying after all that stuff. So I want to let you guys know, calm down. Calm down. In every revolution, there's always strategies. And sometimes one strategy might be effective, some other time it might not be effective. So you have to understand that at this point in time, the leader of the revolution, Issa Tchiroma Bakary, is doing his best, to make sure that he brings home the change that we all deserve. And you see the regime is proven to be more, aggressive than ever before. They try to silence every voice that is going to say anything to favor the people's victory. Everything they do, is to suppress the people's voices. So we cannot look at the regime and try to deceive ourselves to make people understand that, oh, the regime is better than Issa Tchiroma. Now, that's not the case. So what we have to do now is we got to rally our support. We might not know what is happening behind the scenes. I try as much as possible to come and give you, details of what is happening behind the scenes. I'm going to give you some news I'm getting behind the scenes. It's not confirmed yet, so I'm going to use the word allegedly when I'm giving you that news. But I'm just trying to tell you guys, you have to be, patient and rally support behind the leader and keep the momentum going. Spread the word, share. Yeah, I understand not everybody will have the courage, to speak up because they're scared of the regime and they're scared of what some of the consequences might be, especially with Atanga coming out to be giving threat to people. So that's what the regime strive on. Fear. When people are scared to talk, when people are scared to do things, it gives them more power to suppress them. But when people start speaking up, you see the energy, positive energy, and the resistance energy move very rapidly. They don't like that because it empowers the people, to stand up against the oppression. They just want us to they just want to oppress us, and they want us to smile afterwards, after they oppress us. But gone are those days where we're going to do those things. So we're standing up, and I want us to continue to rally our support behind our president, Issa Tchiroma Bakary. Is all his strategy, the best? You can argue that now some of his strategies might not be the best, but you don't have to look at it just from your own perspective. I want you to take a look at it from every possible angle and look at where he is right now, the situation of the country, some of the things that need to be taken and put in place for anything, to, happen successfully. So you have to think about all the things before, you criticize. It's okay to criticize. Trust me, it is okay to criticize. But when you're criticizing, at least have a point of view or have an idea that you're trying to put forth. Don't criticize, but instead for you to give something that, you believe will be a better situation, better solution to the problem or better, possible outcome, you just criticize without giving something tangible. So it's better to criticize, but at the end of your criticism, try to give something that you believe that, if he acted this way, it will be better. If he acted this way, it will be better. Trust me, the world gets out there fast. So it's better to, criticize, but, give the better approach or better way to handle the situation. It's very important. Let everybody, your voice matter a lot in this situation. It's not just Issa Tchiroma's movement. It is the people's movement. And we have been suffering for too long. And this is the time where we're standing up to our oppressors and telling them this is the time for change. And then now to the next point. The ghost town begins tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday. From Sunday to Tuesday. So Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday goes down across the nation. And I was watching and seeing some people talking about the ghost town and saying that ghost town is not enough, to create or make change happen. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Honestly, I completely agree. Ghost town is not enough. You cannot just rely only on ghost town to bring this kind of a regime down. Honestly, that's the truth. But at the same time, you have to understand that in order for us to get to where we want to get to, there are some things that got to be put in place. And there's a lot of strategies that have to be implemented. And now this is a resistance that we are letting the government know that we are resisting them, and we're letting our voices known that we did not vote for Paul Biya. And how will you tell the Cameroonian people or tell the international community that these same people voted for you when they are spitting you out and vomiting you every single day? So it's a first step. I know it's not the ultimate step, but you cannot just say, I'm going to attain this goal, and boom, you wake up one morning and you have attained the goal. You have to go through the process. So we are in the process. So you have to trust the process, and you got to be committed in the process. This first step, will tell a lot whether the Cameroonian people are really and truly ready and capable of resisting this oppression from the regime. Because if we cannot handle 3 days of ghost town, then the questions got to pop up. Are we truly, ready for a revolution? Are we truly ready for change in our country? That is the question we got to start asking ourselves at this point in time. So in as much as it's so cute to come say, we voted for Issa Tchiroma Bakary. Issa Tchiroma Bakary is our president, blah, blah, blah. And then when the president comes out and say, okay, let's do a ghost town, to resist the oppression and let the government know that we are not happy with what they have done and the way they have silenced the people's voices. We want them to step down with immediate effect, with no explanation, because we did not vote for them. When the leader come and say, let's do the ghost town, to frown at the government, at this current dictatorial regime, if you don't step up and resist by staying at home and locking your shops and making sure that no matter how the regime intimidates you, you're not going to open your shop, then we are serious for the revolution, and we are serious for change. But if that does not happen starting from tomorrow, then honestly, there's nothing, because it shows that the Cameroonian people don't want to change. They're enjoying the suppression and oppression given to them by Paul Biya and his cabinet members. So we have to show that we are serious for change. We have to show it. It's very, very important. So we have to step up our game. Yeah, ghost town alone will not do it. There are a lot of diplomatic things that have to happen too. international pressure and so on and so forth. And it will happen. But we have to be patient. It's a step at a time. You don't just reach the finish line without, going through the process. I repeat, you don't finish the finish line without going through the process. So we are in the process, which goes now which I'm taking you now to the next point, which I'm going to use allegedly. Why? Because we're trying to confirm the information. We've not confirmed it yet. But, since everybody wants to know what is happening and all that, I'm going to give it to you right now. But it's going to be allegedly. So pay attention. Yesterday, Issa Tchiroma came out and he posted the Republic of Cameroon, President of the Republic of Cameroon. So allegedly, what we're getting is Issa Tchiroma was sworn in, allegedly. Issa Tchiroma was sworn in as President of Cameroon. And he came out to put the President of the Republic of Cameroon. And he still put that same thing again. I don't know what happened around that time. He still uploaded the thing like I told you earlier on. But after, some discussions with the team and the legal team and all that stuff, they had to come up with a different strategy. Like I said, allegedly, we've not confirmed it yet, but I'm just giving you the information I got. And he was advised to, include President-elect or elected President of Cameroon, which, you can see clearly on his Facebook page that you have the President-elect or the elected President of Cameroon. So the information allegedly is Issa Tchiroma Bakary have been secretly sworn in. It's allegedly. So take the information with a grain of salt. I don't know. It's allegedly. But that's what we're getting, though. That's what we're getting. And is it a good move if it's true? I don't know. Is it a bad move if it's true? I don't know. You can make an argument on both sides. But, this is quite a great time to be alive as a Cameroonian, to see that, man, we've had it. We have suffered for too long. We have been oppressed. And we have standing up to our oppressors. And change is coming. And change is here to stay. Whether Paul Biya likes it or not, he will leave. He will leave. There's no regime that lasts forever. None. No regime lasts forever. It may seem like forever. 43 years, man, that's a long time. Long time. But it is time for him to step down. And he will step down, whether he likes it or not. So I just had to, put the Issa Tchiroma update first, so that way we all know what happened. But before I go to the next update, because I have a lot of updates on my phone, I want to encourage each and every one of us to participate in the Ghost Town tomorrow. Participate in the Ghost Town tomorrow. The public resistance against our oppressors. Paul Biya, Atanga, Ferdinand Gongo, everybody in that administration. We have to show our solidarity to the entire nation. We as Cameroonians, we're showing solidarity among ourselves because we have been going through a lot in the hands of this satanic and barbaric regime. So I want to encourage each and every one of us tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday, let's rally our support behind our president. No commercial activities. You can go to church, you can go pray, go for your meeting, no problem. But no commercial activities on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. That will go a long way, as a big step, big statement, first step towards our victory. Because we already had a victory in the ballot box, which the regime tried to steal. But now this is going to be the starting phase, the start of the new phase or new chapter of our victory. And let's go to the next, update. But please remember, we need everybody to participate in the public, resistance. And then the next update is on Samuel Eto'o. So Samuel Eto'o have been re-elected as the president of FECAFOOT. He was the only presidential candidate for that institution. How is that possible? So you want to tell me, Mr. Samuel, that upon all the about 30 million people in Cameroon, there is no other person that was, eligible to become president of FECAFOOT. You see, this country is becoming messed up. I don't have any problem with Samuel Eto'o, being the president of FECAFOOT, but my only problem is at least we should see challenges, like people who are coming, to vie in for that position. Let him at least go through some people, or maybe have some, serious challenges that is going to bring the best out of him and make him, share his agenda positively, to get the votes if he deserves it. But if you're the only candidate, what possible outcome are you expecting other than victory? Because I saw reports showing that the CAF, representative and FIFA representative are in Cameroon, despite the threat from the Minister of Sport. Minister of Sport is so powerless. I don't even know what that guy does. Very powerless minister. He said, that election will not hold. He said that election will not hold, hoping that his fellow colleague or compatriot, why am I even calling compatriot? Incompetent leader. His fellow incompetent leader, Atanga will stop that election from happening. But Atanga did not cooperate, and the elections went ahead. To show you that even in this regime, there are levels, and there are levels. It shows that Samuel Eto'o is on another level in the regime, and the other guy is just starting, and now he knows his place clearly. When all these things started, when the whole drama between the Ministry of Sport and FECAFOOT started, we did not know it's going to deteriorate to this level. But, in order for peace to reign, we have to, hold Samuel Eto'o accountable. He has been voted for another 4 years, and we don't want this thing to repeat itself again, where the next election, he will be the only candidate. That is copying the playbook of poor Biya being Vondo. We don't want that thing. We don't want any one party system in Cameroon, and we don't want Samuel Eto'o to be the only person who is eligible to become president of FECAFOOT. So that's very important. But in as much as I'm concerned, Eto'o is a legend in Cameroon football. No matter whether you hate him or like him, he put Cameroon in the map. You can go to a lot of places. The only person they know from Cameroon is Samuel Eto'o. So I'm going to give him that. And I'm going to say, ever since he became the president of FECAFOOT, you have been hearing a lot of, crazy reports about him. Some of the reports are fueled by the Ministry of Sport. Some of the reports might be true. But in the nutshell, you have to realize that Cameroon football has gone through a lot of bad things, and it's in a very terrible state at this point in time. So now we have to see what Eto'o leadership will bring us in future. And now, because the bare minimum qualifying for the World Cup, we could not do it. So we have to see how Cameroon football is going to bounce back. But Samuel Eto'o, next time, don't do that. Don't play that thing. The only candidate. What were you expecting to lose when you're the only candidate in the ballot box? And FIFA and CAF, what were you guys doing to come and observe? What are you observing? Everybody's going to vote for one candidate. Even people don't vote, who else is going to win? Sometimes FIFA and CAF, they're joke. Like big comedy. Anyways, we'll go to the next report. And the next report, I'm going to be showing you a lot of, ministers and their budgetary demands. We're going to start with Nalova Lyonga. She requests a 595 billion CFA for 2026 budget. I remember Nalova Lyonga very well. She is the former vice chancellor of the University of Biya. I remember when I was in Cameroon, she was the vice chancellor of the University of Biya. So this 595 billion CFA franc, what are they using it for? That is a big question, because if you look at the institutions in Cameroon, you're going to realize that for the past decade or so, you don't really see a lot of changes. So what are they using this money for? We have to know. And they have to give us a breakdown. The money that was, allocated last year, the budget that was, approved last year, what did they do with that budget? Before you come to request for a new budget, you have to give the Cameroonian people, accountability. Let them know how each franc CFA was spent. That is how a good country should operate. Because there's no accountability. Every year, they approve budget. And what is the budget used for? We don't know. We don't know. We don't see any improvement in the country. How can you say that we are improving when we don't see any improvement as Cameroonian people? We are not feeling. We're hearing only amounts. We're hearing a huge sum of money being spent on what? We don't know. Swiss private accounts, probably. And the next report is on the Minister of Sport. This is a guy we were talking about earlier. And his own budget is 33 billion 270 million. So what does the Ministry of Sport do, honestly, that they need 33 billion 270 million francs CFA? What are they using this money for? You see, all these incompetent leaders, all they do is, request huge sum of money from the government. And what do they do with it? They use it for their private benefits, use it to bribe people, use it to buy, public support. That is what they do. They don't know how to do any other thing best rather than, corrupting other people. And the next person is the Ministry of Public Works. The minister wants 651 billion 952 million. 651 billion 952 million francs. So Ministry of Public Works, what are you using this money to do? Honestly, because if you look at the roads in Cameroon, terrible state. Even in the capital city, Yaoundé, the roads are terrible. You go to other parts of Cameroon, terrible. So the money that was approved last year or the last budget, what did you use it to do? That is the honest truth. Because you see all these ministers they get all this budget, all this amount approved. But what did they use it to do? They have to give a breakdown of how the money was spent. This amount went to this place. This amount went to this place. All that details, we need it. So that way, when next we're approving the budget, we know since these other projects, we've done everything, we've completed this phase. So we have to move to the next project. These are the other projects we have to approve this year. So we know all those things. You cannot just come sit down and say you need this amount. But if you see the way the country is being run, nothing is happening. That is why we voted you guys out of office. What are you guys even doing there? And why is this budget being approved in the first place when you are illegitimate leaders, incompetent leaders? No accountability, nothing. No leadership skills, nothing. Terrible people. Terrible people. And we move to the next person. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development. She's requesting 168 billion 365 million francs CFA. Minister of Housing and Urban Development. What does she do actually? Because I don't know. Like the Ministry of what do they do? Please write in the comment section. I don't know. How many do they build offices or what? And why does she need 168 billion 365 million for? What does she need it for? Honestly. Does she need it to build another Unity Palace or what? I don't know what these guys are doing, bro. Honestly, I don't know what they're doing. And the next report we're going to be putting this, there was a tension that was boiling in the National Assembly yesterday. And I'm going to put it on my screen right now. It's a tension nearly boiled over at the National Assembly between SDF Member of Parliament, the Speaker of the Assembly, Cavaye Yeguie Djibril. The reason, the Speaker, Cavaye Yeguie Djibril, denied them the floor during discussions on the 2026 draft budget submitted by the Biya government or the outgoing regime. How can the outgoing regime be asking for budget? They want a budget to be approved when they are illegitimate and the outgoing government. So you can see the minister, the president of the National Assembly, Cavaye Yeguie Djibril, the guy who doesn't know what the hell he's talking about, who does not really know where he is at the moment, just like he's incompetent Paul Biya, and he's just pointing, and you can see the other guy on the other side. The other guy is kind of looking and like, oh my God, what is happening? But you see, this is how these guys are so incompetent, and they don't even care about any other thing apart from themselves. And that is a sad reality. It's a sad reality. But you know what is going to happen? We are going to send them out. We're going to send them packing. And that is going to happen sooner rather than later. And before we finish, I want to go to Atanga, because, you know, Atanga always have his own budget. You know, Atanga is requesting a budget of 42 billion francs CFA. So, Mr. Atanga, what is the 42 billion francs CFA for? Is it to go hand out 2,000 to bike riders in Bafoussam? Or is it to go buy, you know, fuel for bike riders in Bamenda to bribe them to vote for Paul Biya? So all this budget you guys approve, you use it to bribe people, buy people's consciences. This is unacceptable, Mr. Atanga. And I don't know what this regime, you know, think we are, but we are letting you guys know enough is enough. You guys have been doing terrible things with our country. It's time for you to pack your bags and leave. And normally we're supposed to send all of you to Kondenge, all of you. But we're going to send you to your villages so you can go cultivate some cash crops and keep yourselves busy. You in particular, Atanga, I don't know where you're going to go, which village you're going to go, because the people have vomited you out. And when you get there, oh my goodness, you're going to be at their mercy. So it's better you hide somewhere or you leave the country when we send you packing. And the next and the final thing we're going to talk about is the blueprint comment of the day. And we're going to be highlighting the comment that I'm going to be saying something after I show you this. And the comment is coming from Nayang Maurice. And this is what the person said. Listen, why are you mentioning her age instead of judging her action? This is BS. Appreciate the action, not the person. You know, it's like Cabral and Joshua are young, but what are they doing with regards of democracy? Zero. Any person who can contribute for our freedom is welcome. So, Nayang Maurice, this is for you. This is our last from our last video, and I want to say something to you. I did not mention Madame Ali's age, no part in the video. So from what I'm seeing and what happened is you did not watch the video and you went ahead to comment before watching the video, or if at all you watched it. And this is not what we encourage. We encourage everybody, you know, to make sure that before you're commenting, at least understand the message. And if you have any criticism, it should be an accurate one. And then you give me a breakdown, or okay, you said this thing in this part, and this is not acceptable, or no, you were not supposed to say it like that. And then, you know, everybody is open to criticism. I'm open to that. But before you want to say something like this, you have to give me, you know, accurate, you know, statements, because I did not at no point in time say or mention how old Mrs. Alison is. And I appreciate Miss Alison means that's your first video watching in this channel, and you do not even watch it. You just wrote something without even watching the video. I've said it in several videos or episodes about my appreciation for Mrs. Alison when she became the spokesperson of our elected President Issa Tchiroma Bakary. And I said clearly, this is the right strategy and the right person for this position. Why did I say so? I said that because no young person in Cameroon can handle the pressure that the regime will throw at them at this point in time. And at this point, we need someone who can do things and the regime will not touch that person and cannot hinder the person from doing their job. And the experience of Mrs. or Madame Alice or Mommy Alison shows that she has a lot of experience in handling the regime. So what would the regime possibly do to her? You know, her age is instead a surplus or benefit for us at this point in time, because what would the regime do to her? Lock her up? No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to lock her up. So they're just going to let her and just going to be looking at her and try to disregard what she is saying at the point in time. But if you put a young person in that position, what the regime is going to do is suppress that person and make sure that that person have no voice or say so in anything. So you see, I don't have any problem with Alison That's the right strategy in place, because if they appointed you, you're not going to do it. And if they appointed me, and if I were in Cameroon, it's going to be hard for me to do anything. Why? Because you know how the regime is. They're going to come at you with full force and lock you up immediately, silence you, come and abduct you at night where you cannot do anything or have anybody say anything, you know, to change the outcome. So I am with our president 1,000,000, 1,000,000,000%. I'm behind Issa Tchiroma Bakary until he proves otherwise. And right now we are thinking about the revolution and what we have to do, you know, to create change in our beloved country. Because right now our country is messed up. That is the truth. It is messed up, and we have to change that. So I hope that will, you know, put some, you know, facts, and you're not going to be confused with what I said. I didn't say at any point that she is old, or I did not mention her age. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. I appreciate you guys for liking and commenting. Keep doing what you do. Thank you very much. Nothing but love, peace and love. Thank you very much, and see you in the next video. Au revoir. Bye bye.